Linear equations. So our goal is to find solutions for linear equations. An equation is a mathematical statement of equalities between two quantities. So we have a left side and a right side for the equations. So a solution is a number that makes the equation true. Okay. So the collection of this solution, okay, so the set that contains all the solution, we call that the solution set. So for example, for this one, we can try to manually think of a number that when we substitute, that would be true. So what values of x will make the equation true? So if x is equal to 1, we can check that we have 3 times 1 minus 2 is equal to 1. So for easy problems like this, we can do trial and error and look for the solution. Hence, the solution set will just contain 1. Okay, so for the second problem here, this is where student usually miss out a solution because usually the solution would be students will give the answer 2. But remember, our lesson in radical, we are asking what would be the square root of 4. So take note, we are not using the radical sign. So that means we're looking for the all the possible roots, okay, that will give us 4, no? Square root of 4. So it should be 2 and negative 2. So always remember, when we don't have the radical sign, we are not only looking for the principal square root. So if you solve for this, you have to get both the positive and the negative root. So the solution set will contain negative 2 and 2. You don't have to arrange this in increasing order, but usually it's by practice that we would like to write the smaller number first and then the bigger number, but nothing is wrong if you interchange. Now, let me just give another example to clarify this. If my question is written in this form, that means I'm just looking for the principal square root, because I am using the radical sign. So this radical sign means that we are looking only for the principal square root. Hence, the answer here is just positive 2. Okay, so I hope that the difference between this 2 is clear. For the second item here, we're looking for all the square root of 4, hence negative 2 and positive 2. But if the question uses this is already the question. The question already has the radical sign, then that means you're only looking for the principal square root. Okay, now, we cannot always do trial and error. So how do we solve for linear equations? Okay, so we will start first with linear equation. So if you look at our example here, this is a linear equation, but the second one is a quadratic equation. But for this lesson, we'll just concentrate on linear equation. So it's the form ax plus b. In other words, the highest exponent for x is 1. So a cannot be 0 because if a becomes 0, then there will be no more variable x to solve for. Hence, a cannot be 0. So linear equation, highest exponent for your variable is 1. Our variable doesn't have to be x, no? It can be any variable, but by default, usually we use the letter x. So how do we solve this one? So these are some guidelines, but you don't have to follow it step 1, 2, 3, 4. It depends on the question given. Okay, so our goal is to put all the terms with the variable on the left side by using addition property of equality. I'm going to illustrate it later. And all the constant on the right side by using also the addition property of equality. Then we simplify the left side and the right side, and then we divide by the numerical coefficient to solve for the variable. Okay, so for example, this one, if you look at the negative x here, we want to write or we want to transfer this in the left side. So usually in the shorter notation, we just say transpose, okay? And then you change the sign. That's the short way. But this is what really happens. No? I'm going to show you. We are going to add, I'm going to use a different color. We're adding x to both sides of the equation. So why are we doing this? This is the addition property of equality. So, or in short, APE, addition property of equality. Okay, so addition property of equality. So why did I add x to both sides? Because I want this to be simplified to 0, right? If we simplify this, this is 0. So that means this will be, we will get rid of x on the right side because that is our goal. But you can also have the x on the right side, but usually we write the x on this side, okay? So that's the reason why, so that we can simplify this to 0. So what happens is that this x, we are adding positive, right? So that's why the shortcut that we do, we just say that, oh, you transpose this to the other side, and then negative becomes positive. But that is not the correct explanation or the reason. Okay, so the reason is really APE, addition property of equality. Okay, but you don't have to do this, no? So as long as we understand why it becomes positive x, because sometimes we don't know the reason. We just say that, okay, you just transpose it on the other side and we get a positive x, okay? So 2x plus, we can simplify this, no? So that we have lesser terms. So this is 3x, okay? And then similarly, since I want to get rid of the constant on this side, I'm going to add 2 to both sides. So again, this is again applying the addition property of equality. So notice what happens, though. So this one, again, when we simplify, this is 0. So that's why the short way is that you're going to transpose this on the other side and you get a positive 2. Okay, so now we have variable on one side, constant on the other side, and then we're going to divide by the numerical coefficient of the variable so that we'll be able to solve for x. Okay, so there you go, our solution. So we only have one number that will satisfy, so that means our solution set will only contain 2. Okay, now, of course, not all problems are this simple, so sometimes we have to apply the polynomial addition, subtraction that we studied before. So you distribute this, that's 2x minus 4 plus 9. And then again, for this one, if you are not that confident, you can still place the parenthesis. I'm just going to place the parenthesis first. Okay, so what I am trying to do here is I'm not including the negative in my computation. I'm just doing the multiplying the positive 3. Okay, but if you can do it, if you're confident you can include negative 3 in the multiplication, it's okay. So I'll simplify this plus 5. Then for this one, I'm going to distribute first. See, you end up with the same, negative, if you include the negative, negative 3x, negative 9. So I'm going to simplify again this side. Okay, so that we'll just have 2 terms here. So it's up to you. Sometimes some people don't want to simplify and they want to already transpose. I'll now be using the shortcut notation or transpose. So this would become 5x, and then, or let me just write down for now so that you can observe what is happening, and then later we can skip this step now. So if you'll be asking, Miss, do I really need to show this? Because we can mentally just easily add 2 and 3. No, no. So you don't have to show. You can automatically go to this step, okay? But for showing the complete solution, I'm just trying to write down some additional steps. Okay, so we have one. Now, it's easy to verify your answer. You can just substitute it with the x value and make sure that the left side is equal to the right side. Okay, so you can just do that. Okay, next example. So we have a lot of examples, different types of problem. Now, some of you don't want to deal with the fraction. Okay, so what's nice about equation, so take note, you can only do this in equation. So just in case that I have the expression, let's say this is my question, it's just an expression. I cannot multiply by 6, no? You cannot do that. You can only do this technique when you have an equation. So what is the LCD? The LCD of 3 and 4 is 12. So I'm going to multiply 12 to both sides of the equation. So don't forget that you have to distribute, okay? Because sometimes people just multiply it on the first term and they are done because their goal, what they are trying to think right away is, I have to cancel. I want to get rid of this denominator. But you do this no so that you don't forget no so especially for those who think that they can miss things out easily, so you can do this. So that would be 12 over 3. We can just simplify that. 12 divided by 3 is 4. Okay, and then you also have to multiply 12 to x. Okay, so don't forget that. Then we also do that on this side. We multiply 12 to both sides, so that will be 12. And then I don't distribute it right away, no? So I'm going to simplify. 12 over 4 is 3, and I'm going to place the parenthesis so that I will not miss out multiplying with the negative. Okay, so then distribute. So this is fairly straightforward. Okay, 28. Okay, then this is 12 minus, so negative. This is what I was telling you earlier. If you are not comfortable, you can just multiply with the negative. Negative, negative, positive 18. Okay, so let's simplify 20x. Then this is 28. And then negative 3x, and this is positive 30. So transpose, so you have 23x, and then this becomes negative 28. So that's 2. So x is 2 over 23. Okay, so there we go. Okay, okay, so that's the solution for the uh, third problem. So you can double check again, no, by substituting. So of course, if you do that manually, it will be tedious, but if you have your calculator, then it's okay. Okay, number 4. Okay, so now we have, that's why we had the lesson in multiplication of polynomial. So look, there's only one the same. So your LCD here is x plus 5. So we're going to multiply both sides with x plus 5. Okay, so of course, if you distribute x plus 5 here, since you also have an x plus 5 in the denominator, that will cancel out. Okay, so you'll just have x minus 2, and then you multiply 3 with the quantity x plus 5. Similarly, this side, it will cancel out, and you have 9x plus 12. Now, some of you might have a different solution here. Like you may say that, Miss, what if I transpose this on this side before I do the multiplication? Yes, it's okay. I'm going to show you a little bit of that solution. So you can transpose this on this side, okay, because they are of the same denominator. So you can simply subtract the numerator and then transpose 3 to the other side, okay? But basically, you still have to multiply by x plus 5 so that you're going to get rid of this. Now, we cannot solve for x in the denominator. So there's no way for us to do this, no? So what happens here is if you simplify this, you still have to multiply both sides with x plus 5. So it's very similar. No? It's just a matter of doing the subtraction first before the multiplication of x plus 5. But it's up to you. So now it's just a simple computation. Okay, then I'm going to simplify this. So we have 4 x, then plus 7, right? Okay, then 9x plus 12, then negative 9x, then this becomes negative 7 plus 12, so you have negative 5x, and this is positive 5, right? Okay, so x is negative 1. Now, please take note, if there is a variable in the denominator, substitute the answer and check that the denominator will not be 0. Denominator is not 0. So why am I adding this step? We didn't do it here. So this is a problem wherein your x is in the denominator. So I have to make sure that when I substitute negative 1 here, negative 1 plus 5, it will not be 0 because we cannot divide by 0. What happens if that's the case? Then there will be no solution. Okay, so if ever that you end up with a 0 when you substitute the answer here, the solution, no? When you substitute the solution here, not the solution, but the value of x first. No? If you substitute and this becomes 0, then you have to make a conclusion of no solution. Okay, so let's look at another example. Similarly, we're going to multiply by the LCD, which is, what's the LCD? How do we get LCD for the fraction? So we're going to look for the unique denominator. So that's 2x plus 3 and 2x plus 1. Okay, so we're going to multiply both sides with the LCD. 2x plus 3, same rule. 2x plus 1. Here again, 2x plus 3 and 2x plus 1. Now, observe what will happen. If I multiply this, you can see that one of the factor will cancel out, right? This term. So you'll be left with 2x plus 1 times x minus 1. Okay. On this side, this will also cancel out. So you'll be left with x plus 4 and 2x plus 3. So what do you notice? Usually people use the term cross multiply. Okay, and it's okay. That's the shorter version of arriving at this answer. You cross multiply, but just take note that you can only use that when you have one fraction on this side and another fraction on this side. Then the cross multiplication would work. Okay, so just take note of that. So you can also think of it as that way. The explanation, you can easily arrive at this step. So we're going to distribute. So you have 2x squared. Okay, I'll do the FOIL. Negative 2x and x is negative x, and then negative 1 and positive 1 is negative 1. On this side, we also have 2x squared, and then if you do the FOIL, this will be 8x, and then plus 7. Plus 3. So that will be 10x. Okay, so 8 plus 11. 8 plus 3. 8x plus 3, so 11x plus 12. Okay, now you would be expecting that there will be no x squared, right? So if you transpose this, that would become negative 2, so this will just become 0. Okay, so then we can just transpose the 11 to negative 11x. Can do it at the same time. So negative 1 becomes positive 1. Okay, so that's negative 12x equals 13, right? And then x is negative 13 over 12. Okay, so you just have to make sure that your denominator will not be 0. Okay, so let's check over here. So 2 times negative 13 divided by 12 plus 3. So you just have to check that that will not be 0. So obviously this will become 6, no? So it will not become negative 3. So that's not 0. And then similarly on this side, it will not be also 0 if you check this part here. So that means that this would be our solution. Okay. Then on this one here, so same thing, right? What's the LCD? So you have two unique, okay, different denominators. So your LCD is x minus 2 and x plus 2. So that means you're going to multiply both sides with x minus 2 and x plus 2. Same on the other side, we also multiply with x minus 2 and x plus 2. Then, when we do the multiplication, you can see that x minus 2 will cancel out. So you just have an x plus 2 times 3x. But when I multiply this to 3, take note that both of this should be multiplied to 3. So you can, if you're familiar with the special product, that's the advantage of knowing the special product. Then we know that this is x squared minus 4. No? So square of the first minus square of the second. And then for this one, you can have, you can cancel x plus 2. So this is x minus 2. Okay, then simplify 3x squared plus 6x. Okay, 3x squared minus 12, negative 18x, negative plus 36. So same thing, if I transpose negative 3, that would become 0, right? If I write it on the side. So the 18, I'm going to transpose it on this side. So positive 18x. Then for this one, for the constant, let's just simplify. 36 minus 12 is 24. Okay, so add, you have 24x, right? When you add this, so 24x is close to 24. So you have a nice answer. So sometimes you can also have, you don't have to worry because sometimes when you get an integer answer, people think that something is wrong. No? So again, we have to check, right? 1 minus 2, okay, it will not become a 0, so it's okay. 1 plus 2 is not 0, it's okay. Okay, so 1 is the solution. Okay, now, will you always get a solution? So that's not the case. So look at this one here. I have a simple problem here. So if you notice, if I distribute this, my left side is basically the right side, right? So if you transpose this number, you would end up with 0 equals 0. And precisely, that's true because the right side and the left side are equal. So what will be our conclusion? So that means your solution, your x, we cannot list it all down. Your x can be any real number. Okay, so if that's the case. Now, if we look at this side, you have 3x plus 1, distribute this, 3x plus 6 minus 4. We have 3x plus 1, and if we simplify this, we have 3x plus 2. So, then that will not happen, right? This are same number. One side you're adding by 1 and you're adding by 2. Then that 2 will never be equal. Okay, so let's show. When you transpose 3x minus 3x, positive 1 becomes negative 1. So what happens? 0 is equal to positive 1. And this is false. So you can, that means you cannot have an x that will make this two equal. So since you cannot have an x, so then your solution set would be the empty set. Okay? Or you can just write this one. Okay? Sometimes they just put it in words. No solution. Okay? So those are your options. Okay? Now, this one is similar, but what is the difference of a literal equation? So in literal equation, there are a lot of variables. So if you compare it to the problem that we have earlier, you only have one variable x. So in literal equations, there are other variables, but you only want to solve for one variable. So in this case, we want to solve for y. So how do we do or how do we solve literal equations? You're going to treat this like a linear equation. So just think of this as the variable and treat this as a constant. So these are all constant. Let me use another color for that. No? So we treat this as a constant. So we use the same rule. We want the variable on one side. So this is on one side. And these are the constant. Okay, let me just keep on using this color for the variable. And the constant, we want to transpose it on the other side. Okay, so just think of all the other letters as a constant. Okay, so the only variable that we would like to treat is y. So then we divide both sides by 2. Okay, so when we solve for the value of y, okay, so it's k negative k x plus m n over 2. Okay, so our solution is, okay, so let's just put it in the solution set. So sometimes it will be a little bit more challenging and sometimes it's just straightforward. Okay, like in this case, we want to solve for b. But if you notice, b is in the denominator. So I would like to multiply both sides with this one, or what you can say is cross multiply. No? So we can have this. Okay, so take note, you're solving for b. So I want to factor out b, okay, because you want to isolate b. So let's factor out b. Okay. Factor out r minus 1. Okay, then look at what we have now. These are just multiplication, right? So what we are trying to do is, this is our variable. And you want to treat this as a constant. So that means I can just divide both sides by s and r minus 1. So why can I do that? Because these are all multiplication. Okay, so what will happen is s will cancel out and r minus 1. So we have our b. So L plus A over S times R minus 1. Or you can also distribute your S in your final answer, okay, which should be better. Okay, there you go. So our solution, the L plus A over SR minus S. So that's the solution. That's the value for B if you want to solve for B, no? Okay, so that's the value for B. So that's the end for the linear and literal equation.